So, men's 1500, Jakob, I think he's my number one. Looks great. Second place in the world indoors with COVID, allegedly. Olympic champion, European record holder. Ran a 346 mile this year. Looks great. I think Abel Kipsang gets second. Um, I don't know. I think it's time for Jake Whiteman to get on the podium. Won British Nationals this year. Looks great. I feel like Timothy Chariot could very well just do the Chariot thing and be hard to not be on the podium, but um, he was struggling over the final 100 last year in the Olympics, and then he was well outside of both Ingebrigtsen and McSwain in the Prefontaine Classic for the mile. So he just hasn't looked as sharp. You can't count him out, but I'm going Ingebrigtsen, Kipsang, and I'm going Whiteman for third. 328.5 Ingebrigtsen, 329.5 for Kipsang, just under 330 for Whiteman.
Okay. I this is the hardest for me to predict. Jakob, I do want to say first, but there's an asterisk, not an asterisk, but there's Timothy Chariot. A full fit Timothy Chariot is near impossible to beat.
Yeah, he's
even by Jakob. It's just, even in Tokyo, it turned out that he had an injury, and he had an injury throughout the 2021 season. So if that's reoccurring, which it might be because he's been beaten by Abel Kipsang already this year and by Jakob already this year, I personally can't see anyone beating Jakob if Jakob is fit, and if Timothy Chariot is probably the only one who may be capable of beating him, maybe Abel Kipsang, but Jakob has beaten both of them this season already. So Jakob first. This is really hard for me to try and see it from a non-biased point of view, because I really want to say Ollie Hoare second, because he has beaten Abel Kipsang and Chariot in the pre-classic, and then was second behind Jakob and beat Jake Whiteman in the mile at Bristol Games. Yeah. So I can't see a Kenyan not getting on the podium. I can't see it not happening. So I'll go Jakob, Kipsang, Ollie Hoare, just to be different from you. Whiteman, I think, has got a very good chance. I think Chariot may take it and fall to pieces the last 200, which is sad to see. But I just, I think Jakob going around him may knock him a bit. And also that almost happened last year. Like Josh Kerr almost caught him on the line. So Josh Kerr obviously came third at the British Champs, which is funny because he came third at the Olympics. I don't know how many times that happens. I did say, though, I was saying it's just as hard to make the British team as it is to make the Olympic final or world final.
You guys got depth.
I mean, Jake Haywood made the final in Tokyo, and he didn't even make the team for this year's World Championships. So, yeah, Jake Whiteman is probably my hot take for maybe an outside chance for medal, but I would put Ollie Hoare ahead of him from what I've seen this year. And I just really like what On are doing as well. So that's kind of, some biasness towards On. 327.9.
327. Oof. The only time that's happened was El Garouge back in 99, I think, when he had his teammate basically pace him for the first 800. Under 328, it's beast level, man. That's hard to say. If someone can pace Jakob, I know he can go under 328. I mean, he ran it last year basically with, well, he didn't run under 328, but he ran the Olympic record basically being paced by Chariot. Very interesting tactics looking back on it, but who's my hot take? I would be over the moon thrilled if Cooper Teare could crack into the medals. I mean, it's really hard not to like your Teare and Hawker and your Ben Crawford crew and new generation.
But I mean, there's plenty of people out there like Ben Crawford. He's doing so much at the minute. I guess it's unfair to not include Matt Wisner and Carter Chrisman as well,
of course,
in that conversation.
But apologies.
They're doing amazing things. And back to what you said about Cooper, I would love him more than anything to get a medal, but I don't think he's a 329 runner yet.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, he's a 350 indoor runner. It's crazy. I think he's got if the pace is even, he's got the wheels, but if it comes down to a kick, which it's going to, it's just, I want to say he's there, but I just don't think he's quite there. This is his first global championship qualification. What is he, 22, 23? Not that age really affects it that much, but I think there is a chance. I really do, because he's been running super well, super consistently. And you never know what's going to happen come a world final. So I think he's going to get into the finals. I really do. Home soil rep, push it a little bit farther and dig deeper for it. But it's very thin odds to see him on the podium. If he does, I'm traveling over that day and and high fiving him and giving him like $500,000 of that I don't have.